my name's Jeremy. Thanks for checking out this video. I wanted to talk a little bit about getting the most out of your transcriptions. We often do spend a lot of time and effort into these transcriptions, and then sometimes I know for me it feels like, man, how is this actually coming out in my playing when I'm playing on other tunes? So I wanted to talk about a real intentional, sort of methodical way we can start to plug in some of the ideas we learn from a specific transcription. Step one in this process is going to be making sure that not only you've memorized your improvisation, but that you can actually vocalize or sing it in your head or out loud. You don't need to necessarily sing all the pitches accurately, but having it really internalized so that you can kind of hum along with that solo while you're playing it. You know what's coming next, and that you've really taken those melodic and rhythmic content and absorbed them into your own musical world. Secondly, I have found it really useful once you learn the solo, you've worked it out on your instrument, play it every day. I've found that 3 to 5 times a day for a couple of months at least, I just absorb things at a different level. Little details of dynamic shape in the lines, rhythmic accents. Maybe I'll hear another little, ghost note that I didn't pick up before. All these little details start to get more and more clear, and you start to be able to play it kind of like, like checking your phone, where it's almost like a reflex. It's like suddenly you're looking at the weather on your phone, and you're like, how did I get here? The tune becomes that comfortable for you to where you're just, you know what's coming next. Your fingers know what's coming next, and that process really helps you build a connection to the musicality of that improvisation at a really deep level. Third thing we want to do, use the ideas from that improvisation and use them to create your own composed solo over another tune. So for this one, I just did the Peter Bernstein solo on East of the Sun, West of the Moon live with Diana Krall. So I did a composed solo here on Pennies from Heaven. It's in a different key. The one I just did for this video is in B flat. So I did Pennies from Heaven in C. And I just took the different ideas from that solo that I really liked, and I kind of plugged them in, as well as a few of my own little ideas, and made this one chorus of a composed solo on Pennies from Heaven. So that's one really intentional way that you can kind of absorb and internalize and actually utilize melodic, rhythmic, harmonic ideas that you take from a solo you've transcribed. Step 4. Okay, you don't have to do this, but if you want to write the solo out, so this one I did on the video, I've written out, it's I guess three pages here. I wrote it out, information on the tune. I wrote the melody. I tried to write accents where I thought they were useful, and then the chord progression as well, so I could kind of look at the different notes and maybe analyze them if I want, or work with a student to kind of show like, hey, here's one thing you can play over these sort of changes. So taking the time to write it out has done a number of things that I think is really useful. First of all, because I've already internalized this musical vocabulary, when I see it written out, when I go to another chart, like if I'm playing something where I have to read and I see similar rhythms, I already have like a musical idea of how those should sound. Sometimes getting music off a page and into reality can be somewhat of a challenge. And when I already have an idea of like, oh, that rhythm should kind of sound like this, I've already got that musical aspect of it in my ears. And then when I see it written out on a page, I can kind of connect that with a lot of other stuff that I'm doing. So I think writing it out is really useful, but make sure you do it after you've already done these other things where you're starting to really build, you've internalized it. Also, taking little licks or musical phrases from that full improvisation that you did and playing them through different keys. So let's see, one of the lines that he plays. Okay, that's a line I really liked. In fact, that's one of the reasons I wanted to like transcribe this this solo. When I heard that line, I was like, ooh man, what's going on? It's really great. It's over the 2-5 back to the root, so it's over the C minor F7, and he plays this B triad over the F7, so it's a tritone sub idea. So you might, this song, East of the Sun, West of the Moon, is often played in G. So you might play it in A minor, D7 to G, right? Okay, so that would be one way you take a little idea, play it in a different key, maybe you play it through all keys. Lastly, I have one more little fun thing that I've done to help absorb a lot of vocabulary. What I will do is after I get done writing out a transcription, I'll actually take scissors after I've printed it off, and I will physically kind of cut out 1 or 2, maybe 3 bar phrases, depending on how they work. I'll just cut them out, like physically cut them out with the chords above them. And they, then I have a bunch of little strips of paper, and I put them all in a jar or in a hat. I'm looking the wrong way. The hat. Oh, it's in a different spot in the video. Anyway, throw them in a container of some kind, and then every day you just pull out one little musical phrase and then play that in all keys, or try to play it really fast, or play it in different parts of the guitar. That way you're kind of, if you cut up 25 little 1 or 2 bar phrases, that could be a month's worth of practice ideas. That's just something new, but you're spending this time working with really fantastic musical, jazz vocabulary, and you're really begin to internalize these. If you follow all these processes, you're going to see a lot of this coming out in your playing in ways you sort of couldn't conceptualize before. And I found all these really helpful for me. Thanks for watching.